Well, breaking story coming in from France, that is PSG. Neymar might be on his way to the Premier League. Welcome to this channel, Rokani Media Football. The show we are into is known as the Transfer News Show, and if I told you never knew, we are into the Transfer News Show. And guess what? Here we goes have started being, or here we goes have started to be made or being made by Mr. Here we go himself, Fabrizio Romano. Yesterday, we got a here we go coming in from Fabrizio Romano of Pablo Mari from Arsenal to Monza. Today, it's a here we go of James Milner joining Brighton on a free from Liverpool to Brighton, and we are going to discuss a little bit about Sofian Amrabat as Barcelona have come out and really made him their priority summer target this transfer window to come up and really do what we call the central defensive midfield role, or to play into that defensive pivot of Barcelona. Rokani David is my name. It's a Friday and we are heading into the Premier League, and we are into the final bend of the season. Napoli yesterday were crowned the champions of the Serie A after I think it was a draw in there for you. Victor Osimhen on target, and obviously they've gone ahead to win the trophy. I think after a decade, after 3 decades plus some years in there for you, they've gone ahead to lift the Serie A, and obviously they've gone ahead to really win it. And it had taken long without going to the south of the Italia, to the south of Italy, but this time around the trophy has slept in Naples, and for the next 12 months it's really going to be that side, as Napoli is really going to be jubilating and celebrating in there for you. So let's do a little bit of Neymar. This is Cadena Sa has told us that Neymar will leave Paris Saint-Germain this summer. He does not want to stay if Messi departs. In fact, PSG are looking for a club to sign him on loan with an option to buy. So that is a story coming in from Laser, and it's really evident that Kylian Mbappe has gone ahead to make it hard for Neymar and Messi to coexist with him in the same team. And these two players really want to go. And Neymar would have wanted to stay at Barcelona provided Lionel Messi was still there. But Lionel Messi just turned down the new contract proposal of PSG and told them, I'm not going to be here. My plan is not to be here any longer. And Messi has been suspended for having traveled to Saudi Arabia to hold talks with Al Hilal, a team that wants to give him close to 400 million euros per year to play that side. Remember, even Cristiano Ronaldo is playing that side and is earning close to 300 million euros a year. And Lionel Messi is going to be earning 100 more than Cristiano Ronaldo. And you know what it means to be having Lionel Messi and Ronaldo playing into the same team and the same league. Not the same team, but in the same league. I'm sorry. Cristiano Ronaldo is playing for Al Nassr, and if at all Messi happens to complete his move to Al Hilal, he'll be playing for a different team, the rival of Al Nassr there for you. So Neymar looks like he's not okay with everything, and he's not wanting to stay at PSG, provided Lionel Messi is really leaving the club, and that's the plan for him. He wants really to leave the club of PSG. But the big question will always be, where is Neymar going to go, and what is his ideal destination? And guess what? It's a Premier League club that is interested in really signing Neymar. And we've been told by L'Equipe from France that Neymar could quit PSG this summer. The Brazilian is now open to leaving. The French club could be willing to accept a transfer in form of a loan with an option to buy. And the team that is really interested in Neymar is none other than Newcastle. Newcastle is really one of those teams that has gone ahead to show interest in signing Neymar this season, and they want to sign him. But there are lots of things to look at because a team like Newcastle needs to be playing the Champions League to get a grip of Neymar, because I don't think Neymar will agree a deal to come to a team that's not playing the Champions League. And I think if they don't find themselves in a position of really doing the needful, then Neymar might find another team. But I think the Premier League can be the ideal destination for Neymar. And this story has been given to us by Grammy Bailey, transfer correspondent for 90-Minute Football, confirmed to us that Newcastle's majority shareholders want to bring Neymar to the Premier League. They want a marquee signing. That is it. And you know, when it comes to Newcastle, they're having the money. That's it. They're owned by Saudi Arabia. Obviously, they're having huge money. The checkbook is open, and bringing Neymar will be something good for them because Neymar is being valued at 70 million pounds, right? By PSG. If at all they first get him on loan, I think they can get him on a cheaper fee because the contract of Neymar, however much renewed it, he renewed it at PSG. I think they would want it more to really get some good money. If at all they get him at like 50 million pounds, that will be okay for PSG because Neymar is 31 years of age and his contract expires in 2025. Still has 2 years left on his contract, meaning that with 1 year left on his contract, Newcastle can afford to pay some good amount of money that is close to how much? That is close to 70 million pounds or 50 to get the player. If at all they paid close to 60 million pounds for Alexander Isak, why not pay that for Neymar? Because they want to lift the brand of Newcastle high. If Newcastle qualify for the Champions League, they'll find themselves in a position of really signing in huge players that most of you don't even think they can sign, because that's what comes into their brain every time they really do the needful as a team of Newcastle. So Neymar might see himself coming to the Premier League, and Newcastle is the ideal destination. I've seen stories linking him to Manchester United, but I don't think that he's the kind of player that Erik ten Hag would go for right now. But never say never for Erik ten Hag, because no one thought that would go in for Casemiro. And if at all Erik ten Hag is told that Neymar is available, I don't think he will say no, because Neymar is a quality player. He's a very good quality player. If you bring in Neymar to compete with Marcus Rashford, I think that will be a very good team for Manchester United. And even if Neymar comes in through and obviously gives United some good games, he's a very good addition to the team. And don't downplay the effort of the Qataris taking over Manchester United. If the Qataris take over Manchester United, they are almost the same owners with the PSG, meaning that they can easily make that transfer happen, because a loan is really going to be one of those things that is going to be put into action, So I think United can find themselves in the position of really winning this race. And I think Newcastle can only win this race if at all they qualify for the Champions League. If they don't qualify for the Champions League, we'll see other teams running in for Neymar, because PSG looks like they are really fed up. Now, another here we go has come on from Fabrizio Romano. Brighton are set to sign James Milner. Here we go. The final proposal and all the clauses have been accepted. Deal will be valid until June 2024. Milner will join Brighton on a free transfer from Liverpool. Second signing imminent after João Pedro deal completed. Guys, this is what they call having a competent board. If you're having a competent board, you're supposed to do 80% of your signings, before you go to the preseason. Now, as it stands, Brighton have gone ahead to make another signing of James Milner from João Pedro, a striker from Watford. They've gone ahead to bring in another player known as James Milner, and I think they've brought him in because they know they're going to be playing in Europe. They need a little bit of experience, because Milner gives you that, and they might even have a thought that they can compete favorably into the league next season, because if at all they finish 5th or 6th, we thought they were going to lose McAllister and Caicedo. I think they can replace those players early enough and find themselves in a position of really going ahead to really give the best of the game that these players really deserve. So when you look at this deal of James Milner to Brighton, it just shows you that maybe Liverpool has also gone ahead to agree a deal between them and McAllister. So it might really be easy for them to really get McAllister because of this James Milner deal. But it's said there is a player that's going ahead to convince him to join. I think it's Adam Lallana, a former Liverpool player, has gone ahead to convince him to join Brighton. And remember, James Milner really has vast experience from Newcastle to Man City from Man City. I think he won some trophies there. Then Pep sold him to Liverpool, and at Liverpool has lifted a Premier League and a Champions League. You know, he has won an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. So he's a leader and he's a captain. So you get a lot in James Milner at that age because he adds a lot of experience to your side, and at his age his physicality is really unquestioned, and he has gone ahead to turn out to be a player that always doesn't get injured. He's always available when the team really needs him. So that is a player known as James Milner coming into Brighton. And look at Brighton, this is the kind of player that they needed because he's really a versatile player. If at all you're going to lose Caicedo and McAllister, before you go on to look out for the replacements of these players, I think James Milner gives you at least what you will need as a central defensive midfielder into that team. Because yesterday we saw Gilmore and McAllister playing the double pivot. So that means if McAllister leaves, Gilmore and Milner can easily play into the double pivot. There is even another signing they got in from is it Sweden? Yeah, known as Ayari, is a good central defensive midfielder. So I think they're trying to get him ready for next season, and obviously the needful to see it that they really find themselves in a position of really doing the best of the best. So as it stands, here we go. That guy known as James Milner has agreed a deal with Brighton. And lastly, let's talk about Sofyan Amrabat, a player that really made his mark in the World Cup, and we've been told by Xavi Miguel Club that FC Barcelona have decided to sign Sofyan Amrabat this summer. He's the chosen one to be the club's defensive pivot. So when you look at Barcelona, they're really having problems with the central defensive midfield. Amid this, Sergio Busquets saying that he's going to stay, they need to add more players onto their side. But right now they are focused so much on to bring on Lionel Messi back, but it looks like it might all end in vain and not work out as planned, because it's really looking very, very, very ugly for Barcelona. The latest I've heard from Barca is they've gone ahead to present a proposal to the La Liga that is going to see them really get that 200 million wage bill down, you know, of Barcelona, because the wage bill is really huge, because Barcelona's gone ahead to sign players and give them a lot of money. They've sold levers, but the president of La Liga told them, Tebas, they need to raise 178 million euros in this summer, and that should be coming in from transfers and really reducing player salaries. And on every amount of money they get in, they should only spend 40%. So it shows you that they are in a very horrible situation that anyone wouldn't like to see themselves in. But getting Sofyan Amrabat will be a very good deal, because I really trust in him. He's playing at Fiorentina. 45 million euros. Can Barca raise them? Let's wait and see what is going to happen from Barca. So guys, your thoughts on Neymar coming to the Premier League are welcome in the comment section below. What are your thoughts about James Milner signing in for Brighton, and lastly Sofyan Amrabat being chosen as the defensive pivot for Barcelona? So Rokani David is my name. First video of the day. Thank you for subscribing. Continue spreading the love. We love you all, and don't forget to keep it Rokani Media Football by subscribing and hitting what we call the notification bell that will get you notified every time I upload a video onto this channel, guys. Have a good evening. I'm returning with the Mikel Arteta press conference reaction. Bye bye. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Ciao, ciao.